Yeah, many things happened since last year. Last year, I was still CEO of RTL Connect, and now I'm CEO of RTL AdAlliance. And a lot of things have happened. We are merging at the moment 3 different companies from the RTL group at the international level. We are basically merging RTL Connect, Gruner & IMS, which is an international sales house, focusing on premium publishers, print publishers moving into digital, and SmartClip, which is an ad tech company that we own as well, and we are building a new brand called RTL AdAlliance.
Oh, that's great. And what's happening in Europe these days? Are there any key trends that people should be aware of in terms of media buying and ad sales and perhaps other dynamics?
Yeah, definitely in Europe, as I think in more or less in the entire world, the entire industry is under pressure. The beginning of the year was pretty good and pretty dynamic. Unfortunately, due to the war in Ukraine and the inflation and the pressure on the energy costs and supply has led to a lot of pressure in the advertising industry. I think it's even stronger in Europe than it is here in the States. But when you look at it and you see the market dynamics and the consumers, their way of consuming media is really evolving. Definitely, there's a big shift into from linear to streaming to on demand. There are new actors that want to enter the advertising industry, from social media to retail media. So there's a lot of competition moving forward. The SVOD players moving into the ad-funded VOD products like Netflix or Disney Plus. So a lot of things are going on at the moment and a lot of competition. But if you look at it, I think the advertising industry is in a great shape at this moment. Everyone, and many other players want to have a share of the pie. It means that this business is still very attractive. It's just our goal, legacy broadcasters and executives, to understand what the public wants, and we need to adapt and to bring them additional products in order to make it happen and to prevail in the future.
Okay. And when advertisers ask you about what's happening in this shift from linear to streaming, what do you tell them about what's going on?
Well, definitely, I don't think it's about linear TV or on-demand or non-linear. It's everything. It's one experience. It's a TV experience. We call it in Europe total video experience. So whenever a consumer is watching a piece of content live or on demand or on another device, we believe it's the same experience. It's the total video experience. And we need to adapt our products in order to make it very simple to buy from an advertising perspective. So different pieces of inventory, and we need to make it simple to access, and this is what we do at pan-European level, combining different sets of inventory across multiple markets. And of course, the duty that we will have to follow in the future is to make sure that we have the correct measurement in the different countries. We don't have a unique measurement across the different countries, unfortunately, but at least within the same countries, we need to be able to measure across different screens, across different devices to see what's the incremental reach, and we are all working towards that goal in Europe.
And finally, I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what you expect to see in the future. I mean, a year ago, I don't think any of us expected that Russia would really invade Ukraine as it did, and there'd be this prolonged war. So I know things are a little uncertain right now, but is there anything that's top of mind for you that you're thinking about or that you'd like to see, let's say, in the next year?
Well, again, I think in our industry, we are facing big global giants at the moment, mostly coming from the tech and platform business. We can name them: Meta, Google, Amazon, TikTok. What is really interesting is most of these companies, they see the advertising business as a subset of their businesses. Their global business, they have a greater scheme behind it. They want to sell goods, they want to sell services, they want to provide, streaming services when it comes to Microsoft, for example, or gaming solutions, but it's not about just advertising. We are coming from a legacy perspective from the advertising industry. So what I see and what I want to see more in the future is more collaboration, as a matter of fact. With RTL AdAlliance, earlier this year, we struck a deal with NBC Universal in the US in order to make sure we can connect the dots between the US and between Europe. And I think that's one of the kind of alliances. And hopefully, we will see more of those alliances in the future against the same global players that we need to fight and in order to prevail in the future.